I just wanted to add that I did before reaching out to you. I worked on myself already. I reached out to throughout the years, like as when I knew I was experiencing depression and I couldn't get out of that state emotionally, and it was really getting in my way of accomplishing certain goals that I had set, because I had fear, I had low self-confidence, a lot of hesitation, but mostly just fear. Like it's fear of failure, it's fear of feeling crappy again, it's fear of like, well, you failed, this many times. How do you know in the next time you're actually gonna, succeed in anything? It's really not. It does not matter. It could be relationships, work. It could be career. It could be just whatever. And so reaching out to a therapist and doing the right thing, like how everyone says, do therapy, work on yourself and all that. So I thought I did the right things. I reached out. I had weekly therapy sessions where I talked for an hour at a time. I had double time, twice a week therapy sessions. And I was like, I talked. And it's like, why am I still in the same spot? Like, why am I still in the same place emotionally and mentally?
So when did you feel shift differently?
Right. So my first change was actually with homeopathy. It brought me to a level of being able to accept and process things, because I used to be completely closed, I didn't believe anything would change. I was so negative. I was like super just down on. So at that stage in my life, I would not have reached out to you. I wouldn't have believed that it works. I wouldn't have even thought that I was worthy of spending money on it. I wouldn't have thought that I was worthy of getting better. I was just like, I was ready to die. And homeopathy helped me get out of that. I went through a lot of just processing of my own emotions and letting go. And then at that point, I was led to your work. And I was ready for it, because I do think that accepting something so intense is
you
probably you have to be ready on a certain level. But even working with I work with clients who come to me for homeopathy, and even some of them are not ready, because it's too strange and unusual.
Related to that, I think people are ready for very radical changes when they hit the bottom, when there's no way go more down. The only way is to go up. So that's when you.
But you have to accept that you are you're worthy. Like you are literally worthy of getting better. It's so weird, right? So at that point, it was like rising to a new level of tolerance. How much I can tolerate. How much right now. I worked with you since last year. It's been a year, but I haven't been meeting with you every week. I met with you, regularly in the summertime. But after that, sporadically, and we weren't doing the breathing anymore. But what I'm trying to say is that your type of therapy does not require you to sit there and go, well, what am I feeling today? Well, let me talk about these people in my life. You don't do any of that. You go straight for what's inside, because that's really all that matters. Once you resolve it here,
on the body level, on a physical level, it's a subconscious. It lives in body. The blocks that live in the body. That's what we're working with.
Everything that's stored. The reason we develop physical pain is because it's stored. All of our stresses. All of the past regrets and all kinds of negative feelings that become toxicity.
And what I found very interesting and cool about those techniques, there could be some things that you're not even aware of. You don't have to work on. Let me work on this. And our body is a big system that works together. So if I remove block, then whatever got stuck in my guts, and I have no clue about that, that will also open up. And all of a sudden, my relationship with my partner is better. My money making is becoming better. I don't know. I feel in a condition of more. Flow and happiness. So it's like chain reaction happening. That's a cool thing. There is no need. I remember I was so shocked when I wanted to see eye doctor, and I found one that was very hard. We're taking care only eyelids, and this doctor is something else about the eyes. I'm like, how can you separate even the parts of the eye? So this works together as a
Yeah.
change, as natural way of
Yeah.
dealing with
Yeah.
human. You
Yeah.
know, you move one block and chain
That's-
reaction is happening.
You have the ultimate holistic, all systems therapy. Like you approach, this is what I mean, is like I'm a different person. There are things in my life that still happen that are difficult, challenging, sad, you know, whatever. And all of the bad things that we consider that are scary, they are still happening, and I'm processing them differently.
That's the key.
I'm just
That's the key.
experiencing them differently. So the actual real thing that happens, it's not like, well, like, how do you explain feel better? So for me, feeling better in now in this regard, I feel that I can reach my potential. I'm no longer afraid. Like I am working on myself actively, on my work. I'm not scared of taking steps in my work and my business that I would have been terrified to do last year.
I would say because you trust in the universe.
Yeah.
To say in a
Well,
short way.
I trusted you first.
Right, but now you know that whatever happens, there is a reason behind it. I don't understand yet why, but there is obviously a reason. So instead of why it's happening to me, you shift into why it's happening for me.
Yeah.
That's how you feel.
And you don't say why, you say wow. I wonder what it's
wonder,
telling me.
It turns into curiosity.
Yeah.
And I like to say you're changing your lenses.
Yeah.
So you look at the same situation with one lens as one thing. You're changing your lenses, you're changing the point of view, and the same thing all of a sudden becomes, wow.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see what's tomorrow.
Yeah, and-
I feel like it's like a teenager when a little kid who wakes up and what's going to happen today because so many things happening.
You told me that after you reach this level of like processing a very different new height, sort of, that be careful because you might go back to
Yeah,
how
I
you were
warned you,
feeling.
that's right.
But to be honest with you, that hasn't really happened. I have pretty much stayed in this like new, and I've tested things like, how do I feel now? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay.
Listen,
Wow. I'm
literally a week or two ago, I had this girl from Moscow. I was working online with her. Then she's reaching to me. I met her in India, by the way, a very good girl. And she goes, listen, I live in such a euphoria. It's good. I'm gonna quit my job, and she said, I'm gonna quit this. I'm gonna do this. I don't want to work for anyone anymore. I'm like, whoa. Oh, wait for 2 weeks. Make sure that this is exactly what you're looking
Yeah.
for. Because after you get that sensation of euphoria, but you need to make sure. And nothing wrong with quitting job, but you cannot do it right away.
Nothing
Because
wrong
for this kind of experience, first 2 weeks it's change of energy. But then you have to understand, because the grounding is very important. So for 2 weeks you're still there,
Yeah.
but you need to understand after grounding, am I ready to pay the price of not having money when I don't have
yes,
job?
yes.
If I'm ready, go ahead. So it's all about having common sense
Right.
in being mature, emotionally mature, not just, I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. Okay, am I ready to pay price for that?
Yeah.
If you are, then go ahead.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
think gradually you start to become more fearless. So you realize little by little that your fear, for example, fear of being poor goes away.
Right.
Or fear of, for example, if you are ready for divorce, but you're scared. You don't know what life is going to look like. You were married for 20 years. So
I
you
would
don't
say
know
this
what life
being
is going to
poor,
look like.
to be more clear, you just start to understand that before I was comparing myself with some millionaires, oh my God, I'm so poor. Now I'm more aware of the reality that I have so many things to feel blessed about. Well, I'm not poor. Even now I'm great.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. You're becoming more aware of the blessings you have, because you shift your mindset from fear to appreciation.
Yeah, but for me, it was not just that. It was also realizing that I don't need to blame myself for my own
It's a normal
inabilities. I was not, I didn't reach a certain level of, let's say, income that I wanted to.
Right.
And it's not because I'm comparing myself to millionaires. It's because I feel I can do more.
Uh-huh.
I'm not happy. Like I can reach more. I can do more. I feel.
Where
I
are
have
you
potential.
now?
Well,
Did you
that's what
go
I'm
for
saying.
that potential?
Yes.
Oh, you're reaching
Of course. I'm. But what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to say, is that like people, what kind of fear? It's the fear that I will fail again and again and again, the same way that I have failed before. I have worked hard before, really, really hard, and I failed. Like I lost a lot of money, and so I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to do that again, because that. But that doesn't mean the next time I'm gonna try something different. It's gonna be different. I have learned. But so it's that fear of like that you can never do that because your brain is saying, it's kind of like if I touch this fire right now, my brain is gonna say don't ever touch that fire because it hurt, it burned.
Yeah, but then when you walk on the charcoal one time and you get burned, you know it's the brain. Well, what did you do today? Went through the ice for 5 minutes almost, 4 minutes, right? So it's fine. Nobody's hurt, and
but no one is on your level yet. Okay, we're still down here. We're just simple humans.
So thank you for reminding. The main thing is everything goes to fear, like animal fear that lives in your body, because the brain exists to just protect us. This on physical brain is not here to make us happy. That's not the business of the brain. The happiness is the business of the heart. And what we do quite often, we give this main job of
stimulation.
Not even stimulation. The Lord becomes. We give brain the function of the Lord, and then the servant is the heart. Yeah. That's what we live most of the time. But what should we do? We should shift. This is a Lord. We have to follow what this wants. And then use the guidance of the brain to go towards what the heart wants. This is the way of happiness, because this doesn't exist to make us happy. And we're going to be safe, more safe, but are we going to be happy? So it's up to us what we're choosing. Do we want to be safe but miserable, or maybe take a chance but get excited 10 times a day? So that's the choice. Fear. It's all about fear, basically. If we go down to core reasons, fear of death, fear of being alone, a fear of failure, and so anything that gets rid of fear liberates you and takes you back to the flow of energy where there are resources. That's a liberation, and that's where the happiness is.
Yeah.